But hey, people drag you into shit, and when my name gets dragged, I'm dragging people. So
let's talk about what really happened. I want to address why I'm not friends with Chandler, and I know a lot of people are saying Nicole followed Daisy, Nicole's scared of Daisy. It has nothing to do with Daisy. Yeah, Nicole's a follower.
Because Nicole's a follower.
I mentally checked out of this friendship way before Daisy even thought about not being friends with Chandler anymore, and I want to address my side of the story before we even get into this whole video. I wanted to meet up with Daisy and Chandler in LA so that we would all drive to Anaheim together. But Chandler insisted and basically forced me to meet up with y'all at Anaheim so then I wouldn't go to LA and meet up with them.
Because, dude, from the jump, we knew some shit was gonna get fucked up. I had texted Nicole, we're leaving, where are you?
And Chandler was ignoring all my calls. She wasn't texting back, so that's why I had to reach out to Daisy. Daisy sends me her location because Chandler is still being weird.
Chandler wouldn't give me the address because she, for some reason, didn't want me to tell Nicole.
And she wasn't answering my calls. After she told me that she will send me a screenshot of the time that they would get to Anaheim so then I know when to start driving. So I was looking, because Daisy has her location on in the group message. I looked at Daisy's location and they were literally 5 minutes away from Anaheim. And I'm like, bro, it's literally going to take me 30 minutes. Like, what is going on? I thought they were both playing me at this point. I was just like, what is going on? And I called Chandler. She was like, dude, I told you I will call you when to come. And I was like, well, I'm here. And she was like, well, that's too bad because this is my thing, blah, 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 blah. She was basically telling me, like, you should have waited until I told you. And I was just like, why are you going to tell me one thing? And now when I'm calling you because I'm confused and I'm caught off guard, you're going to say, I told you I'll call when to come. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be in the lobby. At this point, I am mentally checked out of this friendship. After VidCon, I am not friends with Chandler. I'm cutting it off. And I even said in the text, like, this is the shadiest thing a friend has ever done to me. So we're just going to roll this video and basically debunk all the lies that she told you guys with receipts.
Hearing it first, no, I am not friends with Nicole or Daisy. And I am not going to make an entire video dedicated to why I'm not friends with them.
Pause, bitch.
Because honestly,
You did.
You went on live for a fucking hour. You trashed our name.
Yeah, Daisy and Nicole can act like they're best fucking friends. They talk shit about each other anyway, so I don't really care. Jealous because you better than them? I don't think they're jealous because I'm better than them, because we've always been better than them. But I think they're psycho.
You made a 30-minute vlog about us.
I'm not going to address it.
it's more personal preference than anything. They just showed their true colors at VidCon, and I feel like it always happens at VidCon. I invite my friends to VidCon, and that's where I end up finding out their true colors and how they really are. And long story short, I just found out that they're clout chasers. Now, I'm not even going to directly say that Nicole is a clout chaser, but I'm going to say that she's guilty by association.
Like, there's so many people that talk about Nicole being a clout chaser.
Choices that they were making. The only reason I'm going to say this is, like, the only reason I'm even talking about this is because I don't want people to be asking me, what happened with you, Nicole and Daisy? Why aren't you guys friends? You know, blah, blah. I just want to make this video to, you know, put things to rest for you guys. Long story short, Daisy and Nicole got very, very drunk at VidCon, and they ended up breaking a toilet in someone else's hotel room. And you know, that had nothing to do with me. I was not there. Like I said, they were super drunk. And also, you guys have seen in the VidCon vlogs, I didn't even spend time with Nicole and Daisy.
So let's talk about this toilet situation. She made us seem like messy drunks that like don't know what we're doing. First of all, that's not true.
This is what we actually broke.
So in this like little cramped space, I'm sitting on the toilet. People are on the tub. He's on the sink. You're on the sink.
I was on the sink.
Yeah. So I get up and my arm goes like, because the thing was wobbly already. It wasn't placed right. So it was wobbly. So just me with my elbow hitting it, the thing fell onto the floor and the corner just like broke off. But it wasn't even that serious. First of all, everyone was laughing, was like, oh my god, she broke the toilet.
But after that, you guys will notice like they're not in the VidCon vlogs, and it's not because like I didn't want to hang out with them. Like I literally would call them every day and be like, are you guys good? Like, do you want to meet up? And they were like, oh no, we're fine, we're doing our own thing. And I'm not even gonna say like I had a problem with it, except the times where it was like, oh, I'm gonna go to a party, do you guys want to come? And they were like, no, we're doing our own thing. And it's like, I'm not doing business right now. I can actually, like, I have time to hang out with you guys, and you guys are saying that you're doing your own thing. But I was like, I'm not gonna even trip out about it because I had my other friends there too, you guys. So I hung out with Nicolette, I hung out with Ryan.
The night of the toilet situation, which I think was the second night,
And that was when she had called us because she was like, hey guys, I have a +1 to a party. Do you guys want to come?
And I looked at you and I was like, do you want to go? Because I don't.
I know. And I said, no, like, I don't want to leave these people that we're with.
Honestly, at that point, we were all just vibing.
That's a vibe.
We got caught up in the moment because we were pre-gaming for the party that she's talking to because we were going to go with other people. So we were like, no, like, you can save your +1 for someone else. Like, we're just going to, like, pre-game and see where the night takes us. Basically, that's how we got into the bathroom because we started just having a deep talk while people were in the hotel.
They're pre-gaming.
I had other friends I was hanging out with, so like I wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it. But if I was there and had no other friends to hang out with, I would feel kind of like some sort of way, you know, because I invited them to come to VidCon with me and they barely spent any time with me. But like I said, it wasn't a big deal. So yeah, they ended up breaking someone's toilet, and this was at like 3 in the morning. And the guys whose hotel room they were in that they broke the toilet started calling my phone like 3 in the morning. I'm literally like laying down in bed and like they're calling me at 3 in the morning talking about, you need to come get your friends are drunk, like they're in our hotel room, they can't be in here. I literally have text messages to prove like these guys were like, we're gonna kick them out of.
Where are they? Where are they, Chandler? That's when you started manipulating the whole situation.
That's when you started to dwell on this toilet situation. While we are in the bathroom having a moment, this girl's calling and people are like, yo, she's calling.
I'm gonna kick them out of our hotel room. They'll be in the hallway, like, if you don't come get them. And keep in mind, guys, you guys know me pretty well. I'm someone who, it's like, if you make a mistake, you need to fix it yourself and like own up to the mistakes you made and fix it. Like, we're all grown adults. Daisy is older than me. She's 22 and Nicole is 20 and I am 21. If I can handle my liquor, then you guys should know how to handle your liquor, or just don't drink. And so when these boys were calling me at 3 in the morning, I'm like, they need to come to the hotel. Like, they know how to get to the hotel. And so he was like, no, like, can you just sleep over at the hotel with them, because I guess they fell asleep. And I'm like, I'm not sleeping at a hotel with 4 guys that are like, you know, all like, no, it's not happening, honey. I'm perfectly fine in my bed right now. And so I was like, I will come and get them, but like in an hour. And so I get to the hotel in an hour. I walked in and Nicole was naked, and then Daisy was in a—
Hold on, I need to talk about this naked thing. First of all, I walked in. No, you fucking intruded in because you stole their room key. No one called you. No one invited you over this morning. You had their room key. You walked in the room. You saw me sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor.
And so I get to the hotel in an hour. I walked in and Nicole was naked, and then Daisy was in a bed with a guy. They were all just asleep, and so I'm literally trying to wake them up and they're not waking up. Like, I'm literally, at one point I thought they were dead until finally like I shook them enough that they were like, ugh, you know, but they were so drunk that they like passed out. So at this point the guys were just—
Daisy in the bed. What happened?
Dude, I just went to bed. Like, it was 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, bitch, I'm asleep. Like, I'm not going. Serious. It was nothing serious. Like, I'm just fucking sleep.
They wouldn't wake up. Bitch, I don't want to see you.
Like, was next to you. Was next to me. Like, it was nothing fucking serious.
I just didn't want to deal with it. That's why I didn't even give her
the
time
of day. 4 in the morning, bitch. Go to bed,
it's
honey.
6 in the morning. Go back to your hotel room. Ain't nobody called you.
Talking that I fucking condom on there.
Nicole's naked. Okay.
Daisy was in the room with some random.
Okay.
It's fine, just leave them here, like whatever. So I'm like, oh my god, I just wasted my time coming over here to get these girls. They're not waking up, and like I shouldn't even have to be picking them up in the first place. It's not my responsibility. Oh my goodness, I didn't invite them here to babysit them, you know. So I left, and then the next morning they came into my hotel room, and I was just like, what you guys did wasn't cool. But like, I don't even have time to talk to them about it because I had to go to a meeting. So I went to a meeting, and this is kind of where things went downhill. I go to this meeting, and one of the managers that I had a meeting with was a manager of one of the guys whose hotel room the girls broke the toilet in. And so I had this meeting with that manager and then a girl manager, and we're there, we're talking, it's going great, so I thought. And the meeting comes to an end, and as I'm about to leave, the guy manager goes, by the way, Chandler, you need to figure out what you're gonna do with your friends in that toilet because it needs to be fixed or paid for. And I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm literally at a business meeting, and because my friends broke someone's toilet, it's getting brought up in this meeting, and now I look bad. Like, you know, I look bad to these managers because they see me as—
Go Chandler. Alex, guess that shit. Guess it. He doesn't want
like,
you.
that's embarrassing. I'm not gonna be seen with you guys like that because it makes me look bad. Like, I care about my image, and I'm not gonna be—
He's a stalker. It's like crazy. You're a stalker.
Crazy ass girls with me, and they're doing shit like that. Like at a hotel, it's, you know what I mean? Like it's one thing to be in your own home and you're going wild, but to be in someone else's hotel room, it's just terrible. Like it's rude, it's disrespectful, and it's embarrassing. Now I'm just upset. Like I wasn't angry at Nicole and Daisy, but I'm upset because I'm like, this affects my business. And I told these girls that at the end of the day, and this is something you guys should know too, at the end of the day, I care about my business way more than I care about my friends, because at the end of the day, friendship does not pay my bills. And apparently it's hurting my, you know, my bills being paid because they're giving me a bad look. I also forgot to mention,
bad look? You give yourself a bad look.
These girls one rule. They were staying in my hotel room while we were at VidCon because my management got me a whole paid for hotel room with 2 beds. So I told them that they could stay in my hotel room. And so I gave them one rule. I said the one rule of VidCon is that for my room, my hotel room, is that you can have people over, that's fine, but I need to know who's in my hotel room at all times because I have expensive things. I have my laptop, my cameras, my camera lenses, my Beats headphones, my chargers, like all kinds of like expensive things laying around my room, my MCM bag, like, you know what I mean? That I didn't want anything to be stolen. Doesn't mean that I don't trust the people that they bring around, but I just want to know who's in my room at all times so that if something is stolen, I know who could have possibly stole it. So anyways, after this meeting, I go back.
No, keep going.
I go back to the hotel room.
No, yeah, keep going. No, you're right.
And I walk in and there's a guy in my hotel room. Now I do know this guy, however, that's not the point. The point was that I was not aware that this guy was in my hotel room. On top of that, he was in my bed. So I was definitely not okay with that, and I texted them in the group chat. Like while he was there, I texted them and I kind of gave them a look like, really? So I texted them and I said, I told you guys one thing, one rule, and it was that you need to tell me when you bring someone over. They both look at their phones, read the message, and then like giggle it off and throw their phones down and ignore my text message. So then I then responded that if they're going to continue this behavior, they will not be invited to any more events with me. And
we were at VidCon
and we just wanted to change.
We had another event to go to, so we went back to the hotel to change, and we were with.
Yeah, and he sat. So he sat on her bed, and then we were getting ready, and then we were just like talking for a sec, and then she walked in, like honestly, like 5 minutes into us like just getting there, she walked in, and then we were like, oh shit.
It wasn't anything like yo, come, like party, drink, whatever. Like it was just like in and out. And honestly, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That was our bad
on our part, but
shit was already like fucked up prior to that. Like there was so much tension.
She was already like, so she would at this point she's already finding any reason
to just like
bicker, fight, whatever it was.
This behavior, they will not be invited to any more events with me, and I meant it. They continued to ignore it, and you know I was just over it. I was fed up. I had to go to another meeting, so I left the hotel room. So I left the hotel room. Later on in the day, however, I came back to the hotel room because I had to get ready for a party, which is a party I invited them to, and they said that they were good and they were fine doing what they were doing. I go into my hotel room and my sink is now flooded. So I'm like, what the hell are these girls doing? Like, and by the way, they were day drinking, so they were drunk when I was in the hotel room. But I get in there and like my sink is flooded, and I'm like, oh no, like I am so over this. Like first the guy's toilet, then bringing then bringing a guy into my room without my permission and ignoring my text messages, and then on top of that you now just flooded my sink. And like, keep in mind guys, yes, management paid for my hotel room, but my card was on the hotel room, so like if anything was broken I would have to pay for it. And so it sucks when it's especially not your doing, you know. I was there, I brushed my teeth that morning, the sink was fine. I come back and you guys are gone and the sink is broken, so it just doesn't make sense. So I texted them like, you guys broke the sink, you need to fix it. And Daisy responds, I knew you were gonna say something about that. It wasn't us. Like I asked the maids to fix it, but it wasn't us. And I'm just like, who was it? Casper? Like what is wrong with you? You're 22, learn to take responsibility.
Obviously there's 3 girls in a hotel room. There's a lot of in and out going into a same bathroom. Whether somebody's getting ready on the sink, somebody's getting ready outside, whatever it is.
There's weaves, there's people straightening their hair.
Chandler's fucking weave was in the sink. I at one point started straightening my hair on the sink.
Yeah.
Whatever, like there was just a lot going on. So when Nicole and I were ready and we were leaving the room,
there was like water.
There was
like
water. It
water,
was like
a little puddle of water because the water hadn't gone down the sink. So that's what she means when we broke the sink.
So this is where
This is when Daisy clocked the fuck out.
This is when okay, so as I had said before, Nicole and I were at an event, and she had probably like obviously went back to the hotel room, and I of course don't have my phone, so Chandler and I were communicating through
my phone. No, yeah, she was like, if I knew I was gonna babysit you guys, then I wouldn't have brought you guys, like blah blah blah.
Everything started
Since I got there.
Since we got there.
Since I fucking got there.
So it was like, yo, I went off at her.
I know these little things she was blowing out of proportion just
at that moment, I was like, this has nothing to do with being in our hotel room while we were changing.
You know what? Let's get our shit and out of the hotel room, because at this point I was just waiting for Daisy to like just like be on the same page, because as I told you guys, I was out of this friendship since I got there. I said after VidCon, I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to like fuck up the vibe. And so that's when Chandler's like calling me, blowing up my phone. So I answer and I said, you know what? Mind you, she's like going at it on the phone, talking about Daisy's so fucking irresponsible, this and that. So I was like, I get it. Yes, I know. So that's what she's talking about.
You
I
kept
was
saying
like,
the same shit.
Yeah, so I was just like, I get it. I didn't want to hear it. I was just like, yes, I get it. I know. So I said, I think it's best if me and Daisy go get our things out of the hotel and leave. And I never said we're going home. I said we're leaving.
As well. And I never told them like they needed to leave. And I was actually just going to say, you guys just need to cut out the drinking, because that's what seems to be causing these problems, is whenever you guys are drunk, stuff like this happens. But I was never going to be like, you guys need to leave, because of course I wanted to have my friends with me, you know? So, but when she said that, I was like, you know what? That actually does sound like a good idea. At least if I know they're not there, there's no problems that they can cause. So as I'm talking to Nicole on the phone, and she's like that, she's telling me that she's gonna leave and that she's gonna take Daisy home. She then asked me like, where am I? And at this point, I was just like, they don't need to know where I'm at. Keep in mind, I was in the hotel room. So Nicole's like, where are you? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just you guys get your stuff. Like, you guys have the keys to the hotel. Like, go ahead, get your stuff, whatever. She's just like, okay, whatever. So then she hangs up the phone, and about 15 minutes later, I hear them at the door. Daisy and Nicole walks in first, then Daisy. And then four to six guys that I've never met a day in my life start walking into my hotel room. And I'm like around the corner. There's like a hallway that they walk through, and then I'm around the corner, so they didn't see me. So when they finally do see me, Daisy turns around and is like, oh, no, you guys gotta wait outside. And I'm just like, interesting, because you guys thought that I wasn't in the room. They were gonna bring 6 random guys. Like, it was one thing for them to bring that one guy that I knew like the day before, or I mean earlier that day, but it's another thing to bring 4 to 6, I can't remember exactly how many, so don't quote on the number, but it was like 4 to 6 guys that I've never met a day in my life into my hotel room. Those guys could have easily picked up all my stuff, stole it, you know, and I never would have known who it was. And it's all because these girls wanted to bring them.
The reason why I kept asking her, where are you, is because I knew that if she was in the hotel, her and Daisy were gonna get into it, because there was already that built up tension. There was already so much there. Dude, So in the elevator going into her hotel room, she was like, if she's in there, just know, if she better not be in there. So I walk in first, because I already knew, like, if she was in there, like, at least I would walk in first. So I walk in there, and the moment I walk in there, she sees like the people, which is the guy with the luggage cart, the hotel worker, that she was like, are you serious? Like, are you guys were gonna bring all those people into the hotel room? And I was just like, no, bitch, no. There's literally the guy,
luggage cart was outside.
There's literally the guy with the luggage cart, Chandler. We're literally just gonna get our stuff and we're gonna go. Like, I was not gonna bring anyone in here. I'm literally here to get my stuff, as I told you. I don't even know. She was just like, you guys were gonna bring those people, you guys were gonna bring those people. And I was like, no. So at that point, Daisy had put her stuff in the luggage cart, but she still had other things to get.
I still had other things to get on the other side of the room. It was like my makeup, my perfume, my jewelry. Like, I had picked up the bigger stuff, so I put them in the luggage cart. I walked out of the room, and that was when she left Nicole in there.
Yeah.
And it's all because these girls wanted to bring them. So now I am over it. You know, before I was like, I don't care if you guys leave, like, you could stay, you know, whatever. But now at this point, I'm like, nah, y'all gotta go. Daisy walks over to me, and I'm sitting on the bed, and she goes, I'm not fucking drunk. Why the fuck do you keep saying I'm drunk? And I'm just like, whoa. Don't yell at me, especially not in my own hotel room, and especially when we're in the same room and I can hear you. You don't need to raise your voice. She's like, I'm not, but like, you just keep saying I'm fucking drunk, and I'm not fucking drunk. And I'm just like, okay, Daisy, that's fine. Get your stuff, go. You know, like, I'm over it. And so she continues to yell. So at this point, I told Daisy that she needs to get out of my hotel room, and she's like, no, I'm not getting out. However,
you wouldn't let me get my shit from the other side of the room. You kept telling me to get the fuck out. At this point, Chandler puts her hands on me. None of the shouting or the yelling that she said, she claimed that I was like yelling at her in the hotel room, had started yet.
She walks out of the hotel room at one point, and I close the door behind her so she can't get back in. Later on, though, Nicole opens the door to go out, and Daisy decides to walk back in even after I told her that she could not come into my hotel room anymore. So with that happening, I decided to call security. So I called security, and I let them know, like, security's on their way. And at this point, Daisy, like, stayed out. We literally got all her stuff out, and they go downstairs. But they took my
Like I said,
my card key with them, like the door key, and they did not need a key because I knew that if they had a key, they would come back, whether that was when I'm there or when I'm not, and I didn't want that to happen. So Nicole gave me her key to the door, but then Daisy was refusing to do it. So after a little bit of convincing, Nicole was able to convince her to give me my key back. At this point, they are now supposed to be going home, right? And I'm good for the weekend. I can.
Okay. So like I said, when I got back into the hotel room to get my other stuff, like my more expensive things that were over in like a bag and
perfume,
stuff, like
jewelry, they were
jewelry,
still like they weren't in her luggage. They were out and about in the room.
So I was like, that's when she put her hands on me, and I said, "Don't fucking touch me."
Cue the clip.
Punch me in the face, Tyler, punch me in the face! Punch me in the face, Tyler, punch me in the face! Beat her ass! She deserves that shit! Who the f*** is Chandler, Alexis?
That's what she was doing to Daisy.
At that point, like, I'm human. I had a breaking point. Yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna give it to the lobby. Nicole was like, bro, like, I just want this to be over. Like, give her the room key.
This is the reaction Chandler wanted.
This is what she was waiting for.
This is what she was waiting for.
I ended up giving the room key to a mutual friend when she like walked downstairs and she was like causing a scene. Yeah. I was like, dude, anything that gets me the fuck away from her. I was like, I gave him the room key. I was like, just give it back to her.
Yeah. So
weekend I can relax. Wrong. They ended up staying, and they ended up, because I got them badges and wristbands, they had the credentials to be in the building of VidCon and be in the lounges. So these boys that they found, these social media boys that they are now clinging on to, they followed them around for the rest of the weekend. They're at parties, they're at the lounges, they're at the convention. They did not go home. And now I'm more, this is what kind of ended my friendship with Nicole, because she told me one thing and she did another thing, and on top of doing another thing, she did something that's still gonna make me look bad, because no one cares, like no one gives a fuck about who Daisy and Nicole are.
You wanna keep going?
Keep going, go on.
All they're known for is being my friends and being my plus ones. So when they're doing shit that looks bad, people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's Chandler's friends. And I did not want to be associated with the kind of behavior that they were having at all. That's what made me mad, and that's part of the reason why I'm not friends with Nicole. You guys can already figure out the reason why I'm not friends with Daisy, basically.
Okay.
Obviously, we're not friends, bitch. You laid your hands on me and I got crazy.
I've been not friends with you since motherfucking day one.
Bitch, you checked out on day one.
I checked out. As soon as I got to fucking Anaheim, I checked out.
You were like, no, you're like, you're still thinking about being her friend. I was like,
I literally said that. I was like, wait, you're still like entertaining the idea? Just because I was like, I mean, for me, I was hurt. For me, I was hurt because I was like, wow, like this is the shadiest thing a friend has done to me. So I left way before Daisy even thought about ending the friendship. Like, so the credentials that she's talking about are these. So we got a VidCon pass to go to the actual convention, and then this, which got us into like the creator hotel, because she was staying at the fan hotel.
Basically, I'm gonna skip the minor details and just give you guys the cut down. Moving forward from after they left, Daisy split her finger in half because she was drunk, and they ended up sleeping in the hallway of a hotel, not my hotel but another hotel. They snuck into Tana Mojo's birthday by using my name, like telling the people that they knew me, because you could get in if you knew someone. And so they got into Tana Mojo's birthday party by saying that they were with me when they were not. You know, I still was not worried about it though. I was just trying to ignore them and, you know, focus on myself.
Pause it right there.
Until the next.
Hold on, bitch. Let me take a deep breath for this moment. Hold up. Wait. Okay, so the whole finger situation. Okay, with my finger, I was peeing in the hotel room and it was wet, and my fucking finger slid through the cracks. But it wasn't anything bad. And when she's saying that we were sleeping outside of the hotel room, or when we were sleeping in the halls, this is what she means.
VidCon day 2.
Alright,
At that time, she had already blocked me and she was stalking us, and like
from another account. She has like fucking 5 billion accounts.
And I know this for a fact because I had logged into my Instagram off her phone one time, and I just scrolled, and there's at least like 10 different accounts on her Instagram. By the way, my fucking finger's fine. Hi everyone.
All good over here. Let's talk about how we used her name and snuck into the Tana Mojo party.
Okay, my thing is like, even if we were to say, oh, Chandler Alexis, bitch,
you had to be on the list and you needed to get a wristband prior to the party.
Number one, bitch, you don't have enough leverage for that. They'd be like, who? Because the only thing you fucking gave us was the wristband to the hotel
and the VidCon bad.
Remember when she was talking about the manager who was like talking shit about us and talking shit about how
The
we broke
toilet,
the
you
toilet?
didn't figure it out in your friends.
That same manager was the one
went out of his way to get us on all these lists.
These are the wristbands that he fucking gave us to get into every single party at VidCon and every single event. Tana's best friend got us into Tana's party.
At the end of the day, numbers don't mean anything. If people fuck with you, they fuck with you, and that's why we were able to get into all this stuff without her, because at the end of the day, people fucked with us.
Using her name to get into places.
Bitch, we didn't need you, and that bothered you from the start.
That bothered me from the jump, bro. When she saw that we were getting into places and then we'd run into her,
talking
she
about,
was like,
oh, I have a +1. We don't need your +1, honey.
So the next thing that happened was that once I left the hotel room and checked out the last day of VidCon, the girls sent me pictures that they were in my hotel room after I left. And so, one, they were not supposed to be in my hotel room because I took their names off of the hotel, so I thought. And two, like, what reason would they have to be in my hotel room, you know? That's creepy, it's weird. And then they sent me pictures of them going through my trash, which I'm still unsure if that's illegal or not. I'm gonna find out. But yeah, they sent pictures of them going through my trash. That is so fucking weird. Like, that is stalkerish and it's harassment, like, to be sending me pictures of you guys going through my stuff. So at that moment, I was like, I'm done with both of you guys. Like, no, not okay. I called security and had them removed from my hotel room. I then blocked them on all social media and blocked their phone numbers, but of course that didn't work. Daisy continued to call me from random phone numbers, from other friends who had my phone number. She called me from their phones, just would not leave me alone. Every time I would answer the phone to like a random number, it would be her, and I would hang up. I wouldn't even listen to what she had to say, but she continued to call me from these random numbers, right? VidCon ended on Sunday.
First of all, this is the picture she's talking about that we sent her, which we did. I texted her, I was like, yo, like, Daisy thinks she left some things at the hotel, like, can you check? And she was like, there's nothing here. We cleared out the whole room. So there was nothing there, and the maids had already came to clean out the part. Remember that?
I just know that, like, if there's valuable things in a hotel room, maids don't just, like, throw them out. So we got back to the Hilton, and I told them the situation, and she was like, what is your name? And I was like, my name is Daisy. The room was never checked out. So she was like, here's the key to get in the room. So when she's talking about how we broke in,
how do you break into a fucking hotel room?
Dude, this bitch is crazy.
Yes.
So we got into the hotel room.
With our names.
I'm like looking for all my shit.
Bathroom,
in the bathroom. And then I had a thought. I'm like, this bitch is crazy enough to have thrown my shit out. I pick up the garbage can and I just throw it. I see the perfume that she threw out. Maids don't do that shit. So at that point I was like, Nicole, take a picture and say -Daisy, because I didn't have a phone at the time. And she went fucking crazy.
She called my phone.
She called her phone. I don't have a phone, so she called her phone.
She didn't block me at this point. She was
said,
blowing up my phone, and so I'm like, I'm not talking to her. Daisy, you answer. So then Daisy answers, and she's like, let me talk to Nicole. Let me talk to Nicole. And I was like, I want to fucking talk to this
This
bitch.
is when it got ugly, because she felt like you were choosing sides or whatever.
Choosing sides.
She's like, let me talk to her. I was like, she doesn't want to talk to you.
And then that's when she blocked my number.
And she said, goodbye, you psycho ass bitches, or whatever the fuck. She's like,
she was like, I'm calling security to get you guys out of my hotel. Like, bitch, I thought you checked out.
Bitch.
Since we still had access to the hotel, we knew that the maids never came because there were still things. Because once you check out of a hotel room, the maids, they clear out everything. It's like a brand new fucking room.
So the whole harassment situation of me blowing up her phone and calling her.
Yeah. So she had my number blocked. I no longer had access to her. So we had a mutual friend that was with us. Daisy was like, can I please like text her because she has my car keys.
I don't even know what we're on these days, where we landing.
I left my car keys in Chandler's car. My car is parked in her parking garage in her building. So the plan was go back to your apartment, get in my car, and dip. After everything that I just went through this weekend, after you throwing away all my expensive shit, I fucking so that's when I don't have a phone, so I texted her off of Jan's phone, and I was like,
here are the texts.
Here are the screenshots.
This is the harassment, because obviously if someone has your car keys, you're gonna want to talk to them.
I was so calm about it. I was like, as you can see, I was like, I really don't want to take legal action for my car keys. And then she said what she did. Chandler has messed with people's car keys before and has vandalized people's cars. And she has a criminal record for vandalism.
Roll the clip.
So at this point, I was like, yo, like, I'm just gonna go to the dealership and I'm gonna get a new fucking key. But she ended up towing that shit.
Chandler's talking about, oh, like, we're harassing her, but here's a text of her literally telling me, like, oh, come get your stuff. It's at the front desk. And then I didn't reply. So remember that. I didn't reply to her.
So Monday, I'm at my apartment, and I find out that Nicole and Daisy are in the same building that I am in, but they're in, like, someone else's apartment. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So it's one thing for you guys to be in the vicinity of me when I'm in a public area. It's another thing for you guys to find someone who lives in my apartment or who's staying in my apartment and come try to be in the same, like, my apartment complex where I live. Like, that is not okay. So fast forward though, it's not.
After VidCon, we had made really good friends with these people that she introduced us to, and they were staying at the same apartment complex as Chandler. She stayed at this at their room for fucking
like 2 days. Like,
she was sleeping there. She had stuff there, and they were trying to get her out. Here's text messages of them literally telling us to come, and so she could get the fuck out, basically. And
people that she's saying we found are the same people that we stuck with throughout VidCon. That's why she's calling us clout chasers.
And I get a knock on my door, and it's like a heavy knock, and I was like, oh, I think it's Nicole and Daisy, because I knew they were in my building. And I'm like, oh, hell no, I'm not gonna answer the door to them, because, like, why would I want to, you know? I'm literally ignoring y'all. It's one thing for y'all to come to my door. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna ignore it. Then the knocking continues, and it's like heavy knocking, like dum 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 dum, at 1 o'clock, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. So I open my door, and it's 4 niggas and 2 females who I've never met a day in my life. I knew the guys, but I did not know the girls. So I'm like, what the hell? Why are y'all at my door? And they go, oh, we're here to get a hoodie that I had taken on accident. So I'm like, what the fuck? Are y'all fucking psycho? You got 6 people like, Nicole and Daisy told them where I lived. So I'm like, y'all, you got six people rolling up on my apartment at 2 in the morning. Oh, you got me fucked up. This is not cool at all. So I told the boys, I was like, I will bring you the hoodie in the morning because it's in my car. And they go, no, you don't have a choice. You're gonna take it, go get it for us right now. And I'm like, excuse me, are you threatening me? He was like, no, I'm not threatening you, but you have no.
Bitch, you're talking about threatening me. Look what you said in this fucking live.
Just so y'all know, I have family in Compton. Let me send a few niggas to your house. Let's see how your parents like a bunch of hood niggas rolling up to your house.
This same night, we had left to Irvine. Yes, I did tell them where you lived, because guess what? You were literally sleeping at their place for 2 days. You did not leave them alone.
Bro,
so if you know where they live, then they can know where you live, since you were so comfortable in their damn bed. Oh.
She's trying to make it seem like, oh, they sent these guys to my room to beat me up. Oh my god, they're harassing us.
They're getting their hoodie
because they got.
They don't want to see you after this.
And they have a flight the next day, bitch.
But you have no choice. Okay, first of all, the word but implies that you are threatening me. So at this point, I'm like, oh hell no, I'm calling security again. So I call security and I'm like, yeah, there's people at my door, they don't live here, you need to come handle this and take care of it. Security came and removed them from my doorway. And after that, I then was like, I'm not okay with this, I'm calling the police, because the fact that these girls are now sending people to my door is not okay, especially when they don't live here. They shouldn't be in the building at all. Like, oh, you got me fucked up. Like, I'm the last person you want to mess with. So at this point, I then called police. I was like, fuck my security. Security's doing this petty shit. They're not what I want. I called 911. So I called 911 and they were like, okay, we're sending a police officer to come talk to you and talk to them and remove them from the building. And I'm like, perfect. But of course, I told the boys, I was like, I'm letting y'all know, because some of the boys that weren't at my door, I am still cool with, and I did.
No, honey, bitch, you got yourself fucked up. None of them fuck with you.
For that Chandler hoe, for that bitch. Nobody like your bitch ass.
And I didn't want it to, like, this situation to affect them, because they had nothing to do with it. But if the police came, all of the boys would be kicked out of the apartment, because none of them lived there. They're staying in an Airbnb, which is illegal to do in my building. And so they would have all been kicked out, and none of them, like, most of them are living like out of state and are just staying here. So I didn't want that to affect them. So when the police called me and said that they wanted to know if I still wanted them to come, this was at like 4 in the morning when they were finally like able to come, which is crazy. 3 hours for y'all to come, really, or 2 hours. I told them, I was like, I don't think the girls are here anymore, because they had like, my cousin watched their story and it looked like they left. So I was like, I don't think they're at my apartment anymore, so there's not an issue. There's no one banging on my door right now. But I do want to move forward with what I can do. So she let me know that I can go to the police station and file a report and also put a restraining order against them, which is what I'm going to be doing. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, from like 2 o'clock until maybe like 3 o'clock, they kept calling my phone from no caller ID. Like, would call my phone every 2 minutes. Like, I'm not even kidding. Let's throw up those screenshots on the screen.
The only receipts you
and
got,
see-
boo. The only, bitch, you have 2 phones. You could have easily fucking done that yourself. You could have had someone, because guess
Chandler.
what? Those are your only receipts. No
Oh
one's
my
obsessed
God.
with you. You're obsessed with us.
So pissed off and angry and irritated when I'm literally just trying to get some sleep and, you know, do my
You
own
need
thing,
it.
and y'all are sitting
But you look
knocking on my
stressed.
door, y'all are calling
She's
my
stressed.
phone
Look at her hair.
continuously. I already blocked you on all social media.
Fix your
So you're
edges,
trying to
honey.
reach out to me through other phone numbers. Like, that's harassment. So, yeah.
Harassment, bitch.
First of all, okay, if
Okay,
I was
what is-
harassing you, then why did you text me the next day talking about I threw your shit away? Read. We had not said a word about Chandler Alexis because we came to a mutual agreement that we wanted to stay quiet, let the situation handle itself.
You were like, dude, just let her talk.
I was
Let
just
her
like,
talk. Because
let
this
it
is what
be.
she does.
We just wanted to clear our names because clearly this bitch had so much to say. I just want you guys to know that after this point on, the name Chandler Alexis means nothing to us. You can
Me too.
subscribe to Daisy's channel. It'll be linked down below.
Wow, I love clout chasing you.
I love it.
The bitches that I had an issue with, at least they know to shut the fuck up. They know not to mess with me.